Sunday night. Thank you for joining us tonight. I was letting Frank kind of wrap up over there. Oh, looks like Pat's in there. Pat says, Frank in the late, now I'm here. Good deal. I'm muted. Hey, there you go. So Carlos was hearing me, but none of the rest of y'all were hearing me. Thank you. See, I try to mute myself when I'm not, when the live stream is going. Okay, so the only thing I really said was that the app that I was using for the intro is an app called Doodly. That's the thing that draws on the screen and paints the pictures on the screen. And I was saying I need to add some new pictures to it because it is not, I haven't updated it in a while. That's the only thing I said. It's the only thing y'all missed. So, I don't know. I got to figure out a better way to mute and unmute. So, we call that pulling a ham radio dude. I like that. That's good. Okay. But, yeah, that's the only thing I said. I was talking about my Doodly app, the opening app. So, we got a pretty cool show for you tonight. This is nothing I've done before on this channel. I like to try new stuff, and this is kind of new. I've done stuff like this before, but not on a live stream. So we're going to see what we get there. All right, so I put up earlier today. Let me go over here real quick. So this is something that I'm just announcing right now. We're going to do our first ever European happy hour this coming Friday. So I'm going to start at 2 p.m. Texas time, which is 8 p.m. England, 8 p.m. in England. I shouldn't be muted anymore. So there's people still saying I'm muted, but I know I'm not because that is, no, I should be good. Yeah, let me know if you can hear me because I was muted, but I shouldn't be muted anymore. So I don't know if people are not. I hear you on YouTube. Okay, thanks, Carlos. Yeah, make sure you're watching. Make sure you're scrolled forward all the way and watching real time. Anyway, so we're going to do a European happy hour at 2 p.m. on Friday. We'll go for a couple hours, probably like that. I've invited Callum, Chris, 2E0UKH from Digital Ham Radio. I've invited Colin, MM0OPX. I think that's his. He just did a premiere video today about an antenna, so that was kind of cool. And several other people. I told Chris and Callum to invite some people, so they brought some people on as well. So I think I've got 8 or 10 people invited. We'll see who shows up. Should be a fun time, but I wanted to do one at their time because they always miss out on our happy hour because it's like 2 or 3 a.m. for them, depending on where they are over there, for our normal happy hour time at 8 p.m. in Texas. So I get to start drinking beer early this Friday. It's not going to be a bad day. So that's the main point to it there. So y'all, that's on the channel now. I just put that up earlier today, and so you can put it on, go check it out, and mark your calendars for it and join us that day. So let's skip over here. Carlos, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Let me unmute myself.
Yeah, you're doing better than I am already.
Yeah, man, doing all right. Life is grand. I got the skydive yesterday. I feel so happy.
Good. How was the weather out there?
ridiculously nice for end of November in Indiana. We got 55 degrees on the ground. It was like 40 and up at 9,000 feet. So not terrible. It was
That's
beautiful.
I would have thought the difference in temperature between the ground and 9,000 feet up would have been more than just 15 degrees.
It normally is,
Okay.
right? During the winter, the weather pattern gets a little wacky, and sometimes you even get temperature inversions where it's colder on the ground than it is at 9,000 feet.
That's odd.
It happens. It's really odd, but it happens.
Oh boy. Huh. Okay. Well. Okay. Well, good. So you got to skydive yesterday. So I was going through. I go through and I watched a couple of your videos earlier today just to kind of get into the groove and refamiliarize myself with it. Of course, the best one is Frank falling out of a plane with that dumb look on his face. You know? So I'm going to have to, if I ever go skydive with, so I hit Carlos up the other day and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to have to do it come August. I got 9 months. Yeah. So Huntsville this year, I'm thinking about doing it. And, but I'm going to have to practice my scared face because I don't want to look like Frank, because he was like, you know.
Well, your first skydive is always overwhelming. So
Yeah.
It just overloads your senses. There's no way around it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt. So he's one up on me because I've never done it. So I totally believe you on that. Scout wants to know how late into the year are you typically able to skydive?
End of October. Typically,
Okay.
it's end of October. With that said, we have had a number of years where the drop zone owner at the drop zone near me, which is not a place I go to normally, will open up on January 1st, and we skydive from 3,000 feet and freeze, right? But it's one of those things where if he opens up on January 1st, I'm going. I don't care how cold I get because it's the first skydive of the year. How do you say no to that?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like you got to go, right?
Yeah, I mean, your buddy calls you and says, "Hey, man, I got tickets. I got tickets to the garage and pit wall at your favorite race. Are you gonna go?" Yeah, you're gonna go.
Yeah. Of course,
you're gonna go.
Absolutely. Jesse says, "What is the limit? What limits you after October? Is it just because it's too cold?"
There's no real limit other than people don't want to jump in the cold. Yeah, it's convincing people to jump in the cold is difficult. If it weren't for that, we'd jump year round.
I was going to say that surely that varies by region.
Yes, absolutely. Right.
If you're down in like Mexico or something, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, like there are drop zones in Texas and in Florida and Arizona and California, Southern California, that stay open year round. Actually, there's a drop zone open, in just south of Milwaukee, in East Troy, Wisconsin, that it stays open year round. But understand, you're gonna freeze, right?
Yeah. Wisconsin,
There's a guy there. His name is Jeff, and Jeff holds the Guinness World Record for most consecutive months where he's made at least one jump every single month naked, and he's got like 20 some odd, close to 30 years of doing this, and I'm like, no, I am not risking frostbite in my pits. Not doing
no doubt. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Nope.
That is crazy.
Yeah, he is nuts, man. Like there are people in this sport that you go, oh, he's nuts. Oh, no, Jeff is nuts.
No, he's really nuts, huh? That's crazy. Yeah, you were telling us about the naked skydiving in Huntsville, I think. It's like your 100th jump, it's kind of like a, like a tradition or something?
It's a tradition to do your 100th naked, and I did, and that was enough. I've done my one naked skydive.
Yeah, that. Yeah, especially when it's cold. Ouch. Yeah, it would hurt. So, Arthur, thank you for the super chat, Arthur. He says a little something for your first jump. If Frank can do it, you can.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not a bad argument. So
there you go. It's a little encouragement from the super chats.
That's right. Yeah, for sure. All right, so I wanted to bring Carlos on tonight. Actually, I had talked to Carlos a few months back, and we just never could get our schedules coordinated. But you broke 1,000 subscribers, I noticed.
Yeah.
So, hey, pretty cool to that. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Now I just need 4,000 watch hours.
Right. Yeah.
When I first looked at it, the rule was you had to have 4,000 watch hours total. And I'm, way past that. It's not a problem with that. At some point in time, they changed it to within 365 days. And,
right.
Well, not so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm chasing that goal, that mile marker on my second channel right now. So, yeah, I've only got about half of the watch hours I need for the last 365 days. But yeah, so that's
where I'm at.
Yeah. So this is let me share this link in the chat. So you guys who haven't subscribed to Carlos, go out there and check that out. But I'm going to try to do a solid for him tonight and give him some pointers on how to get improvements in and just attention to the channel. Subscribers, watch time, views. What's up, Frank?
Hey, what's going on?
Did you hear that, Frank? Did you hear that? Did you catch what he said?
How to get more subscribers, watch time, and tips and tricks on YouTube?
Or the fact that he's planning on jumping at Huntsville?
We briefly discussed that
we did.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Jason said though he prefers to wants to go with you. And I said, you know what, since I had the pleasure of being Little Spoon to you once, I will give up it to Jason. But like I said, I really want to do a full plane of us ham radio YouTubers jumping out of a plane.
We just have to. All we have to do is convince another 4 or 5 people, and we're good to go, man. And just.
But you got to have 4 or 5 people, experienced instructors too. So you got to have you got to tandem everybody, right?
We got to tandem everybody.
Yeah.
And all we have to do is just call the drop zone and make arrangements. They'll have the instructors there.
Oh, they have their own. Okay.
Yeah, they have staff. I'm like, they let me jump there as a courtesy because it's professional courtesy, and I'm not an instructor there. I am an instructor, right? But I'm not employed there. And basically, they were like, since you're bringing your friend, you're welcome to take him along. Otherwise, it'd be like some other random instructor taking Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we will definitely coordinate that. It's just that is my hopes and wants. If we could fill that plane and it's just all of us and do the same thing we did, maybe enjoy that free fall in about 7,000 feet, pull the chute, and we all jump on radios and like
parachute to parachute.
P2P. That's almost the same as park to park, man.
Hey, man. We're starting a thing here.
Yeah. Parachute to parachute. We ought to get like double points for that. Parachute to parachute.
I am. If you haven't caught my stream, I had Gigaparts. Come on.
I caught the last 10 minutes of it.
We went shopping for the ham shack.
What'd you buy?
4 lightning arresters, a radio. I did take the antenna switch out because it doesn't make sense yet for me. But
I'll send you this one.
It is the antenna switch I want for now. And we went over a lot of other things, but it was a great stream. But I'm buying a radio.
What radio did you get?
The Yaesu FTDX10.
Yes. Yeah, I thought that's what I heard you say in the stream, but I'm like, yeah, that's a great choice. Great choice. Excellent choice. So
that's what I am looking on getting, and I'm trying to get through the checkout process. I'm going to do their 0% interest for 12 months through PayPal.
That's a gimme, dude. Like that's
it really is. Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to spend the money and be able to just chunk it out a little bit at a time and let somebody else carry the interest, I'm okay with that.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I do 0% interest on anything I can. Honestly, I try not to do too many items at once.
So I'm not going to take over the stream about me. I'm on here enough. Carlos, my man, it's about you.
Yep. Tonight's about Carlos. So like I said in the beginning, thank you for those of us who joined since then. I've never done anything like this before on a live stream, but I have attended a bunch of classes. If you guys, anybody, I see a lot of YouTubers in the chat tonight, so welcome to everybody who's out there. I highly suggest attending something like Vid Summit or VidCon, which are VidCon is who is that? I think that's Gary Vaynerchuk's one, but there's one in Texas called Video Marketing World that I've gone to for the last 3 years. Vid Summit and VidCon are usually in California, although Vid Summit will be here in Dallas-Fort Worth next year. And there's a couple others like that. So if you're interested in building in video it's not just YouTube at these summits, at these conferences. It's video, it's online video, whatever platform. And it's all kinds of different stuff. So it's not just building a YouTube channel, although that is part of it. But I've attended these conferences. They're really fun. And I plan to do a couple more next year. So I've picked up stuff along the way, and I like to kind of share the knowledge where I can. So here's a look at Carlos's channel right now, and it doesn't look bad. Although the first thing I will say, now everything I'm going to say tonight is in
love,
is out of I'm not going to try to be rude or anything. And honestly, this doesn't look bad. This doesn't look bad, but there's always room for improvement. If someone with 1 million subscribers came onto my channel, they'd be like, oh, you could improve this, this, and this. There's always room for improvement. There's plenty of room for improvement on my channel. But like this top banner you've got right here, it's hard to tell what's going on there unless you are a skydiver.
That is very true.
Yeah. So
I need to find a better banner. That's been on my list of things, but hasn't been a high priority. It's understand that this is going to sound like an excuse. I'm just explaining it.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I started the channel with the intent of doing skydiving videos, right? And it just happens that it turned into an amateur radio video channel, and I just haven't gone. I need to go through all of the settings in YouTube for my channel and properly fix the things, because you're right, that banner definitely needs to be redone.
It's just hard to tell. The banner needs to basically be an elevator pitch of your channel. What's the channel about? What are you talking about? You know, how often you post or something like that. So I've got, I'll pull mine up here, and mine's okay. I've actually been given some pointers on mine lately. I'm probably going to be changing mine up here shortly as well. But there's mine right there, so you can see. And
it's how you start every one of your videos too. Is how you do reviews, news, and how-tos.
Yeah. So. But yeah, I mean, that's not a bad picture. A really cool banner, I think, would be like, I'm sure you've done it, but have you ever taken a picture of you guys, like a bunch of skydivers falling at the same time in a ring, and y'all all holding hands in the circle thing?
Oh, yeah.
How they do?
Yeah, okay. It's called the round. Believe it or not, it's called the round.
The round? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it's called. Okay. That would be a fun picture right there. And then you could put it like a radio on the side of it or something, say CQ or whatever like that. That'd be kind of like a fun banner. But yeah, just something that describes the channel a little bit, because that's not a bad picture. It's just zoomed in too close, so you can't really see what's going on.
Well, also banner pictures are hard because you might have a great picture in normal mode or normal viewing angle,
normal aspect ratio,
and then it just like takes this small slice that you're just like, and you don't get to choose the slice. It will take the picture. And it will say, okay, for mobile, it's this. And then for desktop, it's this. And then for this other thing, it might be this.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to do banners well.
When I change my banner, I've changed my banner a few times over the years. Every time I change it, I'll do up a photo in Photoshop, and I'll upload it. And then I'll change it and upload it. And I'll do it probably 6, 8, 10 times just to get the centeredness right of it. Right, left, and right up and down, and right zoomed in, and I'm like, oh, that looks like crap. I move it around, I move it here, I move it there. So it's tricky to do. It's not an exact science. It'd be nice if YouTube would let you upload something and then kind of crop it real time, but it doesn't let you do that, or at least not yet. Anyway, so yeah, John says the words parachute mobile ham radio on the banner could help. That's true.
I'm taking notes as we go along, by the way. I have a little document open here,
Cool. All right, so if we scroll down here and we look, and let me be perfectly honest with you, okay? I think parachute it really parachute anything. But parachute ham radio, not everybody does that. That's a very exciting and unique topic. So there should be a lot. I think you should probably be getting more interest in this yourself. Looks like you did that one in Spanish. That's cool.
I did.
But
that was I got an email with a question, and the easiest way to answer was in a video. It's like, you know what? I'll just make a video and upload it.
Just make a video. Yeah.
I know that the views on it are going to be this, and they are. Like the statistics on that video are terrible.
Yeah.
But you know what? I speak the language. It was
okay. Yeah.
It was an easy way to answer the question.
Sure.
Well, you could just do another track. I know there's ways to have a different language track that you can embed. So that would double the time of you working on a video. You go back and just re-record the audio, but that's an option.
You could do that. You could do that too. But that's, yeah. That's okay. So, but yeah, so the first thing here I see is, and the thumbnails are not bad. Most of these YouTube gurus, if you were to hire a YouTube expert and have them go through your channel and do it, and you can find people who do free channel audits as well. vidIQ has a channel audit tool built into it. TubeBuddy, I think, does also, although I haven't used TubeBuddy as much as I've used vidIQ, but either one of those are pretty good. They are subscription services, so you have to pay for them. You can get free versions, but they're not as robust. Most of them will say that the most important things on the channel are your titles and your thumbnails. Those are the two most important things to grab someone's attention and to say, oh, that looks interesting, and they click on your video and watch it. And then from there, it's all about content. Content is king, I'm sure you've heard.
Oh, yeah.
And that's true, but if you can't capture their attention, they're never going to click on your video and see the content. So
I was trying to get cute with the thumbnails earlier, and after Huntsville, talked to KM4ACK Jason, right? And he was like, man, too many things to read. Just make, go back to KISS. I'm like, okay. So as you scroll, you're going to see that the change happened around the same time as Huntsville.
Yeah.
Where, I'll give the Keep It Simple Stupid thumbnail a try, because, why not? I mean, I have nothing to lose.
Right. Simple is better. Simple is better. Some thumbnail experts will tell you not to use text in your thumbnails at all. Like, don't put any text in them at all. I don't necessarily subscribe to that way of thinking. Here's what I do. So Black Friday, obviously I put text on my Black Friday ones, but right there, that icon one, that one's got 10,000 views already, and I've had it uploaded for 6 days. This one here is my dumb face with the battery in front of it. That one there is me with a goofy look with the battery box. There's no text in those at all. So I will put text in there, but I used to put like the entire title in the thumbnail way back when, and that's a terrible idea. So so this amount of text is not bad, but if it takes away from the picture, because that picture right there and that one called 2022-09-19 jump, that's a cool looking thumbnail, but it's hard to see the background, how high up the dude is. That you?
Oh no, that's one of my students.
Okay. It's hard to see how high up off the ground he is because you've got Parachute Mobile over the top of him. So just, and like right here, that's kind of a cool aerial shot of the horizon right there, but with the text on top of it, it's hard to tell what that is. So text isn't bad. Just use it sparingly is what I would say. Nose itches. So these allergies out here this year are terrible.
I agree.
Steve says 4 words or less per thumbnail. You know what? I don't even do that. I usually say battery or POTA or, something like that. I usually only put 1 or 2. But yeah, you got to find your niche, and it's not a big no-no to use text. It's just something that usually you don't need. Most people use it. Like, well, for instance, I'll give you a really good example. Not a Rubicon Randy. He puts text all over his thumbnails, but his thumbnails get hundreds, thousands of views. So it works for him. And if you go look at him, you're like, dude, there's like the whole title in your thumbnail. And you put the video up 2 days ago, it's got 12,000 views. So, so he's doing really good in that regard. But most of the time that's not true. Most of the time people don't need that much text in their thumbnail. But I can tell you right now, here's going to be the biggest thing I want you to take away from this is this, okay? And if you have any questions, let me know. If I'm going if I'm too random with this.
I'm just taking notes.
Okay. So here's what I would do if I were you. So so forgive my bluntness here, but these titles are not good. Putting this date in front of the title is nobody's searching for that. You've got to make searchable titles. So the best thing you can do is come up with a phrase or two or a couple phrases. See, for me, I would just do ham radio, but that my channel is about ham radio. So you can do skydiving, you can do parachuting, you can do parachute ham radio, and what you do is you take that word or phrase and sit down with a pen and a piece of paper and type in skydiving to can you see my screen? Yeah, you guys can see that. Okay, so skydiving, okay, space A. Okay, so skydiving accident at Musket Bowl. I don't know what that is. Skydiving accident, skydiving at night, skydiving AFF, okay? So what you do is you just skydiving space A, and then you go space B, and write down the top 2 or 3. The way that YouTube search works, okay, is that when you write skydiving A, this skydiving accident at Musket Bowl, whatever that is the most searched for term, skydiving space A. Okay, so these are all in order of how people have searched for them. So like right here, skydiving acrobatics, skydiving Arab. Okay, hey, somebody's probably he's probably he's probably an Arab dude who does skydiving. Cool. Yeah. Okay, so this skydiving Australia. Okay, that kind of thing. So skydiving A, B, C, D. Go through the whole alphabet. Write down the top 2 or 3. And then pick the low-hanging fruit out of those and say, oh, I know what that is. I could do that. And then name your video that. Okay. The other thing is like parachute. Spell that right? Parachute radio. Let's just see. So there's not going to be much in there. Okay. So parachute radio. Edit it. Parachute ham radio. Okay. So maybe that's a thing. Ham radio. So there's not much in there either. But you could do parachute space A, parachute B, parachute C, and go through the whole alphabet, and then write down the top 2 or 3 that in this list here that you think makes sense to you, because you know that industry better than I do. Some of this stuff I don't know what it means, but you do. And write all that down and say, okay, I need to make videos. I can make a quick video about that, or a quick video about that, or a quick video about that. And then title your videos like Tanks Can Fly. That's a cool title for all of us in the room that we know what that means.
Yeah.
Okay, but like for someone new who's just catching your channel, what does that mean? Okay.
Not much.
It should be parachuting with a ham radio and a fat guy. Or something like that. So, because that might be, or what is the weight limit on a tandem jump? That kind of something like that. So, is a tank too heavy to him jump with, or something like that? But I'm picking on Frank right now. But
not Ron. Philip says parachute mobile.
Parachute mobile. Yeah,
that could be a good one. Let's just see what that says.
There's a lot that comes up when you go parachute mobile. But I mean, that doesn't parachute mobile doesn't always mean radio. What is parachute mobile in your world, Carlos? That's
only what I do. Seriously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's some sort of radio.
Yeah, there's radio involved. In skydiving, when I tell people I'm doing parachute mobile, they're like, "What's that mean?" Then I have to explain to them what portable operations are and whatnot.
Okay. That's good. So, yeah, you could do parachute mobile A, mobile B, and there may not be much in there, but that's okay. People are searching for it. You put up parachute mobile, and it comes up with all this stuff. But my point is, figure out a term, and it doesn't have to be parachute. It doesn't have to be skydiving. Just figure out an industry term and incorporate radio or don't, and just go through the alphabet and search for terms inside of your niche. Like one of the things I did when I learned this is I went ham radio space A, ham radio space B, ham radio space C. I've done overland space ABC for my other channel. I've done what what else have I done? I've done like and ham radio antenna is one of the most searched ham radio terms on YouTube. So I actually did ham radio antenna space A, ham radio antenna space B, and that kind of thing. So just to kind of look and see what people are searching for out there, kind of learn what people are looking for, because the way you and I word something may not be the way that someone else is wording something when they're searching YouTube. So it's good to know. It's good to kind of have that that stuff and just kind of write it down and go through it every now and then and say this is what I need to make videos about. So I think if you were to clean up your titles, I think that's the biggest thing that stands out to me. The like I said, the thumbnails aren't bad. The banner up here is probably the least important part we've talked about so far. I mean, it's good to have when people go to your page and you'll be like, I can't really tell what's going on. Oh, this guy's in an airplane. Okay, I kind of see that now, kind of thing. And your avatar over here with the guy in the parachute is perfect. I mean, that's awesome. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. So he's a parachute guy. Okay, cool. But but the banners, okay, yeah, change that when you get a chance. But I would change these titles like immediately, and just try to figure out something that people are searching for, something that is clickable. If you say parachuting over, I don't know if you ever parachute in like historically famous places. Like,
not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Parachuting over some sort of famous spot, or like if you go to Hawaii, hey, parachute in Hawaii, or parachute in Mexico, parachute outside the USA, or something like that. Something that's maybe a little bit more eye catching than just, oh, hey, I jumped out of a plane again today for the 150th time. So, which to someone else that might be really exciting, but if you've got a bunch of videos on your channel that describe that already, then you might kind of go at it from a different angle.
Okay.
So, yeah, that'd be my thing.
Just do a quick refresh on that page real quick.
A refresh? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me close that. Gives a little bit better view. Okay.
There you go.
Skydiving with the smallest tank in ham radio. There you go.
Love it. Love it.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
That's good. That's good. So, yeah. But, yeah, this one right here, this thumbnail with the Explorer QRZ radio, that's a good thumbnail right there. I mean, I would take the text out of it, but the picture itself is good. That one right there is pretty good as well. Parachute mobile jump with the date in it, and everything out there is kind of whited out behind it. That's not great. You can probably make something a little bit better than that. Something like that little clip that it's showing me there when I mouse over it would be an excellent thumbnail for that video.
Do you know how to tweak those clips? Is it usually the first 10 seconds or the video?
Most people will tell you not to use. I don't know how to. You mean the little playable part? No, I don't know how to do that, and I don't know. I don't think it's the first 10 seconds. I think it's just kind of random.
Okay.
But most people will tell you to take a high-res custom image for your thumbnail. In fact, Mr. Beast, if I've read a little bit of, he's done some forwards in some books that I've read. I've never read a book that he's wrote. He says that he will, when he plans a video, he comes up with the idea of the thumbnail before he comes up with the idea of the video. Like he has, he has an idea. He has an idea for a video, and he's like, okay, let's design the thumbnail. Once he has the thumbnail designed, then he'll go shoot the video. So, and I'm like, I'm not that crazy. Maybe that's why I don't have 100 million subscribers. Like
I was going to say, I'm not that talented.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's how he, a lot of guys will say, come up with the idea of the thumbnail first, because that's the first thing people see. That's the thing that it's going to grab someone's attention to make them click and watch your video. And then once they click on it, then it's up to you to make interesting content. But, I mean, like, man, I think the ace in the hole you've got, Carlos, is that skydiving's interesting. I mean, it's just some of the stuff, it really is. I mean, I'm not just saying that. It's like, some of the stuff I've seen in your videos, I'm like, dude, that's just cinematically looking, awesome looking, just some of the views you get and some of the footage you get is really cool.
Dude, the one thing is in skydiving is for sure is that the videography that comes out of it is gorgeous. Especially during sunrise and sunset. Oddly enough, the California fires, when they get really nice and going, they actually turn the sky a different color in the Midwest.
Really?
Yes. So the smoke carries from all the way from California all the way to the Midwest, and you can actually smell it when you're climbing. And the thing is, even though it's kind of like an annoying scent, like my allergies act up.
Yeah.
When you're in free fall or when you're under parachute, the color changes that it brings to the view are ridiculous. They're just ridiculous.
Interesting. Well, that's yeah. I mean, so I think your content is quite good. We just need to work on getting people to notice it. That's really all it is. I mean, that's my opinion anyway. So, but I would. Just
I agree with you. You know, like I'm sitting here going, well, how do I get more? Another 2,000 hours of viewable time on my channel, because that's it's really the current limit to monetizing it. Not that monetization on YouTube pays all that much, but it is it is part of the progress, right? So
correct.
Once you get there, you get a little bit more traction, a little bit more traction after
that. So you need 4,000 watch hours in a calendar year.
Yeah.
So if your channel's been up a year, you're going to start losing hours from your older videos. So
and
that's
right
the
now,
trick.
And right now I'm pretty much plateaued at 2,200 hours. And like, I looked at it a month ago, it's 2,200 hours. I looked at it today, 2,200 hours. So
I don't think it's a calendar year, Frank. I think it's the last 360. Year. Yeah, it's the last
year to date.
365. Yeah.
It's a rolling year. Yeah.
That's a cool thumbnail right there. I like that one.
Which one?
HF Parachute Mobile right there.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's me diving at the ground, believe it or not.
Oh really? Okay.
So the parachute is actually diving at the ground.
No, not this one, but this one, this third one from the left.
Okay, the one that's
this one called HF Parachute Mobile Setup.
Okay.
That's a good looking thumbnail right there.
And that's a good looking title too.
HF Parachute Mobile Setup, yeah.
Do you have the plugins to see what the CEO score is on a particular video?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I used to have. No, I don't. Well, I have a plugin to show it on my channel, but I don't have back-end access to Carlos's channel, so I can't see that now.
Oh, TubeBuddy used to just show it on every video that you just clicked on.
I don't. Okay, I don't have TubeBuddy installed right now.
Yeah. All right. I was
tangent. I need to add TubeBuddy to my list.
Yeah. Good TubeBuddy or vidIQ. I would suggest trying both of those. Get the free version and kind of run it for a week or two and see which one you like better, and then just kind of go from there. I've been told that TubeBuddy is, well, depends on who you talk to. I've used vidIQ for like 2 or 3 years, but recently I've kind of decided to switch to TubeBuddy because of some thumbnail A to B comparisons that it does. Also with the title here, HF Parachute Mobile Setup, I would probably say HF Ham Radio Parachute Mobile Setup, because people may not know what HF is unless it's a ham radio guy following your channel. I don't know. Are you targeting skydivers? Are you targeting hams or both?
I'm targeting hams. Skydivers are interested to a degree in this. They think it's cool. Like, for example, when I did the jump yesterday, as soon as I landed, the barrage of questions from the 15 people that were there was, what's the farthest you talked today? What's the farthest you talked to? I'm like, I talked to someone in California. I talked to 2 people in California. California from here? And I'm like, not for anything, but I can do that from the ground if I want to do.
Well, yeah. Well, see, and here's an idea. Do that again sometime and ask those guys if you can record them, and record a video of after you land and saying how and title it something along the lines of how skydiving gets people interested in ham radio. And then just talk to the 10 or 15 people, or however, 2 or 3 people, however many it is on the ground, about ham radio. Say, "Whoa, how did you do that?" Or "How does this work?" Or "What is it?" And just do a Q&A with them for like 10 minutes.
Okay,
that'd be a cool video. Yeah, man, I think that'd be awesome.
I mean, at this point in time, when I land from a jump, from parachute, from a radio jump, I walk into the hangar and the question's always, so who'd you talk to this time? There's a few people that are very interested. There's a few people that are like, this guy is the biggest nerd in this place. And I'm okay being the biggest nerd. I'm perfectly happy with that.
Right. I think most of the people that watch my channel have to be okay with that, I think. So, just tell them that be glad they're not part of the Nerd Fest in Dayton every year. So, but Good. Okay. Yeah, but that I thought that was a really good that was a good looking title and thumbnail in that video. I like that one. So how-to videos always do well. How to do this, how to,
That's that is certain. That my top performing video, believe it or not, on a regular basis is the how-to I made on making an ADS-B receiver. That and the Coco antenna, which baffles me. I'm like, okay, great. I'm happy that people are watching it, but I didn't expect that to be the top performing video a year later.
Right.
Whens can nerf fly? I love that.
Yeah, when
I saw that.
Fly. That's good. So, yeah, have you ever done a video about what goes in your pack?
Yeah, actually, the video that setup video that you were watching is the actual.
Is that what that is about the pack?
Okay. Yeah, and then I have one at the beginning of this year. That may be the one from the beginning of this year where I went through the entire pack and everything that I put in it and my alternatives. So, like, for example, my primary antenna is my back antenna, but my immediate backup after that is either the KM4ACK infrared half wave or the K6ARK infrared half wave, depending on what it is I'm doing. Like, the back antenna is great because most of the time what I'm doing is 20. So there, right? 20. The KM4ACK is great when I'm doing 40 and I don't want to string, like, I know it'll work on 20, but I don't want to take the extra minute that it takes to unwind the extra cable if I don't need to, right?
Sure. Okay. So have you ever since the infed half wave is it's got the coax on one end. Well, okay, do you use coax between the radio and the antenna, or do you just plug it straight into the radio?
Oh, coax. Okay. There's 20 feet of coax between me and the radio and the antenna because the infant needs the coax to act as a counterpoise. Yeah.
Okay. Well, some infeds, I think that depends on your own, and I'm probably missing a piece, but I've seen people use infeds connected directly to like a KX3, KX2, but I think maybe those had their own counterpoise built into them. Maybe that's what it was, and so that would make sense. But have you ever had one fall apart on you in the wind?
Yeah, well, my K6ARK. So let me preface this.
Be careful.
So Adam was very kind and sent me one of his. Actually, I want to say is his first 100-watt version, right?
Oh, okay.
Because this happened about this time last year, and he asked me, what's an ideal antenna for you? I was like, well, your antenna is great, but I need it to do 100 watts. And the next thing I know is I receive a package from him with this toroid with an antenna connector on it. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. So what he did is he put a bullet connector on it. And I did not check the bullet connector on the last flight I had with it. There must have been just enough pulled on it. As I was streaming the wire out, no big deal. I put the antenna out, and as I made a turn, and I felt a little thump on the wire, and I'm like, I didn't think anything of it. Start calling CQ, and it's like out of all the jumps that I made this year, it's the lowest number of QSOs I made. I think I made like 6 QSOs, and I was trying to figure out why. And as soon as I landed, all that I made 6 QSOs on a K6ARK. With about that much wire sticking out of the toroid.
Oh no!
Oh, that's awesome.
If you look at the video, like I shot the video 4K, so I can go frame by frame.
Yeah,
and you can see that when I'm making the turn, it caught just enough air that and you see it fly away.
You can see it fly away. That's awesome. Oh man!
But the thing is, what I found interesting about that entire experience was. You know what? The radio never complained about SWR. I still made like 6 QSOs. Not like there were a couple locals, right? But there was one in California and one in Colorado, and I'm like,
sheesh.
How does that even work?
It's because you're so high. It's got to be your altitude.
It's the height is might thing, right?
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out why I wasn't getting like my brain immediately goes to I'm not getting what I'm supposed to be getting. So what's wrong?
Yeah.
So I focused on the radio, and I'm like, well, when I key up, it's 1 to 1.2 2-1. So I'm
Mhm.
like, the SWR is fine. I don't know what's wrong.
Mhm.
And I look back, and the toroid is back there, but I can't see the wire, right?
Oh, that's hilarious, man.
So yeah, some farmer ended up with 66 feet of wire. Or no, that was
Yeah.
that one was cut for 20, I think. So what would that be? 32 feet of wire.
Yeah, 32, 33, something like
So
that.
some farmer ended up with 30 some odd feet of wire in his combine this year.
He's
Where
gonna
the hell
love.
does this come from?
He's gonna love you trying to dig that out.
Well, you know, the thing is, if I could track it down, I really would have, because I don't like leaving stuff behind.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
there's no, I have no way of knowing where the heck that ended up at, man.
No. Oh, dude, that's hilarious. Yeah. See, I think that'd be a fun video. Say, oops, lost my antenna. I don't know what you named that video, but that would have been a fun thing to talk about on video, I think.
No, it should be like I made 6 contacts with 6 inches of wire.
Not even.
Or 6.
Yeah.
6, you can make contacts with 6 inches, or 6 inches is useful, something like that.
Oh, there's so many innuendos we could.
Yeah. That's an innuendo thing right there.
I'm just gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need good SWR to make contacts in Parachute Mobile.
Well, the thing is that the SWR was great. I'm surprised. Like I would have.
I don't understand how that's possible.
I would have
honestly
expected the radio to at least show me, like, you know, a high SWR, because when I'm transmitting, I'm constantly like peeking at the radio just to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah.
And there was nothing wrong with it. Like, it wasn't until I landed that I realized, oh, I was transmitting on, you know, that much wire.
That is funny, man. That
Height
is
is
really
might,
funny.
man. Height is might.
Height is might. Height is might.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah. People were asking for the link to your channel, and Tios shared it again. So
Thanks,
I shared it, but I shared it back when we started, but Tio shared it again. So yeah, you guys go check out Carlos's channel and comment on some videos and tell him what you do like about him.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great one, right? So
yeah,
if you haven't found me before and you're found me today because of Jason, you know, do me a favor, drop me an email or drop me a comment saying, hey, I would have found you better if you had done X or Y or Z, right? Because that kind of feedback really, really would help me get this thing rolling a little bit better.
Yeah. I just think it's a really cool niche, and it should be, because people watch it. I mean, I've watched a lot of your videos, and I'm just like, dude, that is just really. I would love to be able to get footage like that on my videos, but I'm like, I'm not. I'd have to jump out of a plane to do that. And that's usually where my interest kind of dies. So, but I'm like, this is just some really cool footage you get up there with especially like the sunset stuff, and that kind of thing.
Sunsets and skydiving are gorgeous, because you get to see a sunset nobody else gets to see.
Right.
The pilots get to see that sunset, right? If you're traveling on an airliner or on a plane, you get to see that sunset. I get to see that sunset almost every day I skydive, because I put myself on sunset load when I start the day. Put me on sunset load. Well, we don't have that built yet. I don't care. Put me on sunset load.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It is go ahead.
Do you ever do like early morning?
Rare, but yes. When I do early morning, I try to stick to 2 meters because of the tropospheric propagation you get with 2 meters that early in the morning is beautiful. So,
I bet it would be. Okay.
The most recent early morning jump that we've made was, we had scheduled, we had a forecast of really bad winds for the day. And we had a bunch of students waiting to get a jump in. And we told them, show up at sunrise and we'll go up at sunrise. And sure enough, we did. And we were able to get those students 3 jumps each, because every instructor did the uncommon thing. Like, I'm the guy that will have no problem waking up early and going for a skydive early in the morning. Not a problem. Most instructors are like, let me have my coffee and roll my, it's like a typical Monday through Friday, Monday through Friday 9 to 5 kind of job, where people are like, it's my part-time job and I love it. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, sunrise jumps are spectacular. Like nothing short of spectacular, because you get to see the sunrise twice. right? If you time it right, you take off before sunrise, and the sun rises in the east right as the pilot is giving you the door.
Oh,
right.
Huh.
So you see the sun rising as you're opening the door, and then it keeps on rising a bit as you're in free fall, and then it disappears, and it rises again as you're in their parachute, and then you land, and it rises again once you land.
Oh wow!
That's
you get to see it 3 times.
If you time it right, you can do it 3 times. Most of the time, you're going to get 2 out of it.
Oh,
it is gorgeous.
Yeah, I bet it is. That'd be great. Cooler in the morning too, I imagine, but still probably worth it for the scenery. So,
oh yeah, it's
that's awesome.
I'll incorporate some of that video, even though it has nothing to do with like I didn't do a radio on that. I'll incorporate some of that video in one of my next videos, just to show people what it really looks like. But it is, sunrise jumps are gorgeous. The problem is getting people up that early.
Yeah.
Especially in summer. Hey guys, sunrise at 5 in the morning. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm not doing that. So is it permissible to jump at night? I think I saw a couple of night jump videos on your channel here.
How do you do that?
So night jumps you have to be careful about, of course, right? More careful than normal. You have to skydive during the day at that drop zone at least once, ideally 3 or 4 times, so that you're used to the landing pattern and what things look like today. Because the shadows are what dictates where your landing area is at, right? We put cars in the landing area with our headlights aiming in the direction that we want to land in. But you still have to be very familiar with the winds that day. The winds from morning to evening don't change all that much, but they do change a bit, and you still need to be familiar with how they're flying so that you can hold in the areas you need to hold. And basically you plan it all out. I don't have my kit with me here handy, but we are required to wear one light, and that has to be a white strobe aimed down per FAA rules for aircraft. Most of us will also fly 2 other lights, a red light in the front and a green light in the back, indicating that basically if I see red, I need to turn right. So I see red, and you see red at the same time because we're facing each other. I turn right, you turn right. We're 180 degrees apart from each other. We're going to be okay.
I think that's an FAA thing, because that's how my drone is built too. It's got red lights in the front and green lights in the back.
Also, nautical. It's not just.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought red was on like the left side and green's on the right side.
On my drone, red is on the front and green is on the back. But I thought that was a FAA thing, but I really don't know. I was just guessing.
So I'm pretty sure it's red on the left and green on the right. I could just look over at my jumpsuit because I built my jumpsuit that way on purpose.
But the skydive is different. But that's okay.
So in skydiving, we're only required to have one light, and that's a strobe that is visible for 3 nautical miles, aiming down. But most of us will wear a red in the front and a green in the back so that we have another point of reference, right? I also wear a super bright light on my helmet aimed up at my canopy so that people see my canopy.
That's a good idea.
That way, if for some reason they don't see, so the kit I built with police strobes.
Oh, nice.
The strobes that go in a police car that are visible for like 10 miles. I built a kit that goes on my hip that has the red in the front, green in the back, white strobe down, and they're police strobes, man, and they are bright.
Nice.
When I jump at night, people go, "There's Carlos." I've been told that. I've been told that a number of times. They go, "Well, we know where Carlos is."
Yeah, right. That's good. Well, that's good. You want people to know where you are if you're jumping at nighttime. And
the thing is, typically, if I'm doing a night jump anymore, it's going to be a radio jump. So I'm the last out and I'm the last to land. So I don't have to really worry about any air-to-air conflicts with anyone else. But it's still nice to be seen, right? Because if for some reason I land off, people can go, "Oh, he's going way over there. We got to go get him," right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully they come and get you.
They'll come and get you. That's part of, skydiving is a big camaraderie kind of a thing. And if if you land off, and I see you land off, and I have the opportunity to, I'm gonna go get you. And if it's not me, it's gonna be somebody else. We don't leave you hanging out there.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, we take care of each other pretty well.
Mm-hmm. There's Scout. Red is left or port.
Port, yeah.
The best way to remember port
wine is
port
a red
wine
yeah.
is a red wine. So I've always heard port is left and right is starboard, and I've always heard the way I always remembered is port and left both have 4 letters.
Okay.
That's I learned that a long time ago. From a ship captain, actually, not aeronautical, but maritime. Starboard and port. Yeah, port is left. They're both 4 letters. I'm like, oh, that's easy enough to remember. So that's how I always do it. But red wine, that's good. I'd never. So red is left. Okay, that makes sense. Good. Okay, sweet. All right, man. Well, so are you not? So was that your last? This one today, was that your last jump for the year or what?
I think so. But then again, the last jump I made in October, I thought it was going to be my last parachute mobile video for the year, and here the opportunity came up. So I'm working on getting my examiner rating. So the examiner is no comment on the sherry pie question. Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so he asked about the sherry pie, about taking a sherry pie on with you on the jump, and I'll just go ahead and answer it since you saw that. To do an all-star node, you need an internet connection. So he would have to jump with some sort of Wi-Fi internet connection, and that would stay connected while he's falling that fast. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah.
It's not even the speed, right? It's the altitude. You're not going to get cell phone signal typically above 7,000 feet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
that makes sense.
So it's actually, here's a funny haha for you. Apple Watch Ultra. Never even thought about it. So on the first day I had it of skydiving, the opening set the crash sensor off.
Really?
It couldn't call 911 immediately. It eventually called 911 as I'm flying my parachute at a 3,000 or 3,500 feet or so. I hear 911. What's your emergency? And it's because that's when the cell phone signal came in.
No.
Oh my! So it thought you actually crashed.
Oh yeah, I'm like,
oh my goodness.
No emergency. I swear, I'm just flying a parachute.
And
of course, that's when the operator goes, "Are you sure you're okay?"
Did it deploy correctly?
Oh yeah, everything was perfectly fine. It's just that. So if you remember,
that's funny.
My arms are here, and when I open, the swing of the opening is
right. Whiplash.
Bam!
Yeah.
And that and my arms whipped, it went over the G limit of this. So now I have to remember to turn that off. But all that to say that the call came in somewhere near 3,500 or 3,000 feet, and that's when it got cell phone signal, because that's when the call came through. And I'm like, oh, and sure enough, I landed, and there was a police car waiting at the drop zone just to make sure everything was okay. And I'm like, really, everything's okay. I promise.
Yeah.
This thing just went off.
I got a comment on on a video just today. It might have been yesterday. It was either last night or it was this morning sometime. I got a comment on one of my videos, and it said, and sometimes you don't know if people are trolling, but this guy, I think he was serious. But it says, new to ham radio. With the internet, what is the purpose of radio since the internet now exists? Okay, and basically, I'm not going to sit there and explain that whole theory to him in a YouTube comment, and I've done it on video before. But to what Carlos's point is, and to what the point is about trying to use an all-star node while you're skydiving, radio is the only form of communication we have today that requires no infrastructure. All you need is an atmosphere. And unless he's going to go skydive from the ISS, which I don't think he's ever done, he's in the atmosphere, even though he's really high up. So radio's the perfect communications tool up there where nothing else exists. So,
and I'm here to tell you, if anybody wants to pay for me to go on SpaceX and jump out, I'll gladly take one for the team.
Me too.
But somebody else has to pay for it. That ain't gonna be me.
Oh gosh, yeah. Have you seen that one where the guy goes up and he's like looking down? He's like the tallest or the highest jump ever. It's on YouTube.
Yeah,
and he's in a space.
Yeah,
Felix Baumgartner. That's right. Yeah, where he jumps straight down.
his record was beaten not so long after by Alan Eustace, but everybody knows Felix. Everybody knows Felix because Red Bull did such a great job with marketing on that, right? And Eustace didn't do any real marketing. He just basically said, "I'm going to go do this," and he did it.
That's an awesome video. I'm pretty sure it was Baumgartner's video I saw, but I mean, that's a really I showed it to a friend of mine who's scared of heights. It was Baker Frank. I sent it to him because he's scared of heights. I'm like, hey, Bake, check this out. Yeah, he is. Every time I find a really cool picture of a guy on a tower, a radio climber on a tower, when he takes a picture looking down, I send it to Baker just because.
We have a question. Balloon jump, and we should know a balloon pilot here soon to make this happen.
Yes, balloon jumps happen all the time, especially down in Eloy, Arizona. They have their own balloon there for balloon jumps. They're not cheap, but they're on my list of things that I want to do because it's a fun thing. It's a just like making a contact with me, or with any other parachute mobile person, because I'm not the only one. Is a rare contact, and you want to get that checked off on your list. A balloon jump is a rare jump, and I want to get that checked off on my list.
Shane's working on getting his balloon license.
That's who it was.
So yeah.
Yes. Do we have anything else to go over on the his channel? We're at the top of the hour.
Yeah, we just that was a quick hour.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else, honestly. If we just kind of start with the most important is titles. Second important is thumbnails, and like I said, the thumbnails are not bad. I would just, if it were me, I would use far less text, and then change that banner so that people know what you're doing up there. You do that, and you especially with the titles, something that's a little bit more clickable and searchable of a title, I think you're going to see a big difference that way.
Okay.
Text on the thumbnail is hard to get rid of. Like Jason had to drill that into my skull.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like he kept doing it.
Like I kept putting like almost the full title in there somehow. And I'm now getting to slim down to just the strict subject of what's the video.
Okay.
How about highlighting text? How do you highlight text? I see some creators do like a left column and that has like a blurb in it, and then you got the clean picture. I'm doing like a drop shadow. I see Carlos has like a rectangle drop shadow around his text.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters one way or the other, honestly. I mean, something to call attention to it is good. But like I was talking with Shane, I'm pretty sure it was at Field Day this year. He was editing a video, and he was we were talking on Discord. We were talking on Discord. I don't remember. It was a while back. I was talking to Shane, and he's like, should I put this in there? And I don't remember. He was trying to put like 4 or 5 words in his video, and I told him I think it was a POTA video, and I told him I would just put like. It wasn't POTA, but it was a single word about something. I was like, you're trying to put a phrase in there, and I would just limit it to 1 word. Yeah. And he's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And he really liked that idea. So it's not really, just, I
was trying to get cute with my thumbnails. If you go back to the thumbnails, you'll see that, oops, I fell out the plane. Like,
Oh,
that's
right?
fun.
And if you go through them, you're going to see that there's a theme there, right? But it's
right.
Yeah. Those are fun.
Yeah, those are that's those are fun,
we should have Shane on here because Shane knows how to maximize CEO and the data for all the tags. Because if you look at his videos are really not clicky baity, but he has a high rate of return on his videos. A lot of his videos have 1,000+ on there, which some of mine have 1,000 views, but on average I'm about 500 to 600 now ish, and he's done that really out of the box. So that's another next step to look
that's
into.
Good. Yeah, you're talking about click-through rate. So that in other words, that's how many times people see your video, your thumbnail, and click on it. So improved titles and thumbnails will improve your click-through rate as well. So that's something. It kind of starts with titles and thumbnails and goes from there. But it's certainly not the only thing, but that's the usually usually some of the easiest things to fix are the titles, and then thumbnails are kind of an art form. I go back and look at some of my thumbnails really suck, and I think I've gotten better at them over the course of time. But at the same time, I go hang out with other YouTubers in totally other niches outside of ham radio and look at their thumbnails. I'm like, that's so much better than what I've got. So it's like I said at the beginning, it's a constant state of learning. So you want to just get some of the guys will tell you get 1% better with every video. Just improve yourself 1% with every video. And a very common phrase is your first videos are your worst videos. And that's certainly true with me because my first video was terrible. But but that's good though. That means you're growing. I hope that your first videos are your worst videos. Because if you're still making the same caliber of video today that you were 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, then you haven't grown at all, and that's even worse.
Yeah.
So totally. But that's my 2 cents anyway. So you guys go out there.
Feedback. I mean,
sure.
It's one of those things where if you don't know, you don't know.
Right. That's correct.
Certainly that feedback is not coming through on the comments, right?
Yeah.
So
you're right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. People don't usually comment in that kind of manner, but
when they do comments, actually, I have to thank my lucky stars. Most of my comments have been very, very good. I'm very positive. I say that now, and I'm going to end up, knock on wood here. And it's, it's just one of those things where if you don't know, you don't know, right? To be fair, I've had other folks helping me out as well in the process. T.O. and Jason and Ham Radio Dude have all reached out and said, hey, think about this and think about that. And I've tried their things and they actually have made some changes to the feed rate. So I appreciate other people that have way more experience than me saying, hey, man, you should consider X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, totally. It's, I mean, I heard something else I picked up at one of these conferences is there's really no such thing as, don't think of people in your niche as competitors, think of them as collaborators. So there's no competition, there's only collaboration. So that's why I do stuff like the YouTubers Bunch back in the day and the Ham Radio Happy Hour these days and invite everybody on. Let's just talk about stuff, man, because at the end of the day, it's just
rising tide, man, lifts all ships.
Right? And it's about getting people interested in ham radio. I mean, that's at the end of the day. That's what all our channels are really about. That and having fun. I love having fun.
I mean,
a lot of people get really pissed off that I have so much fun in ham radio, but that's their problem, not mine.
Exactly. So. I'm like, I'm out doing what I do because I enjoy doing what I do, and I would
right.
It's I'm going to keep doing this because I have fun with it, whether I make money with it or not. Doesn't matter. I like it.
Right.
If I think it was Josh that said if we wanted to make money doing this, we would choose a different topic.
Oh yes, yeah.
Right.
If our main goal was to make money, you could just make videos about Android phones or
exactly. Anything but this because ham radio. Because the community for this is so infinitesimal. And you know what? I found out, and I'm not sure if you found it, if you read about it on a comment that I put on the content creators chat. Is that I did a presentation for the if I remember as the Hamilton County, Indiana Amateur Radio Club, just north of Indianapolis, and there were something like 40 or 50 people there, and out of those 40 or 50 people, 2 people knew about any of us, right? And the crowd wasn't all old. It was a very mixed crowd of age and gender. So it wasn't a, these folks don't watch YouTube. No, they watch plenty of YouTube. They just don't watch ham radio YouTube. And I was baffled at the fact that people younger than you and I aren't using YouTube. And I'm like, they're using it. They just don't know about us.
They just don't know about ham radio on YouTube. Yeah. That's a little, So that's a little odd.
Yeah. It was kind of a wake-up call when I did this presentation and 2 people knew about any of us. I can what I told them was I can understand them not knowing about me. I'm a tiny little channel, right? Not knowing about the rest of y'all that have tens of thousands of people following you is baffling to me.
Yeah. A little bit, yeah. In a ham radio club, that is kind of baffling, yeah. Because
Exactly.
usually when I go to a ham radio club, I have at least one person come up to me. But the coolest thing was that, well, my hat's off to the oh gosh, I'm gonna forget their name now. It was a ham radio club in northern Arkansas that went to the Ozarks for the Overland Show, and they set up a booth at the Overland Show to explain to people what ham radio was. And I'm like, that is awesome. I'm like, this is a really cool thing that these guys are doing. So I go up and start talking to him. And the guy I'm talking to, I'm just asking him. I was like, I was talking to somebody next to him, and I heard static. I'm like, somebody's got an HF radio. Where is it? Because I was just kind of like your ears go up, right? You're like, oh, what is that? Where is that?
Like a fox hunt, man.
Yeah. It's like you ever driving through like a Target or a Walmart parking lot and you look and you do a double take. Does that guy have an antenna on his car?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. See, that's what I do too.
I did not notice that stuff until after I got my license. I was like,
oh no, of course not. No, I didn't either. But so I'm talking to this guy and I'm about it. I was like, oh, I heard your radio. What are you guys doing? And he explained it and everything. And then some guy walked up behind him and he's like, Jason. I'm like, yes. How are you? So those guys were really fun to hang out with all weekend.
You're probably talking about the northeastern Arkansas Amateur Radio Club. They reached out to me. I did a presentation for them as well. And I want to say Doug Davis, if I remember right, is who I saw at Huntsville.
Okay.
And he saw me. He was like, I sent you an email. Did you see my email? I'm like, I don't know who you are, man. I'm like, he's like, hey, I want to know if you can do if you can present to our club. And I'm like, oh yeah, I just haven't gotten a chance to reply. And he actually pinned me down on a date then.
Nice.
That's cool. How you got to do it sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
They came up from their club in Arkansas to Huntsville, and I know that they're big in overlanding because the rig that they were driving at the club at Huntsville was an overlanding rig, and
nice. Very cool.
Yeah, they seem to be very active. It was one of those things where I'm like, it's my club has maybe 10 people show up to a meeting.
Yeah.
Right. The club in Arkansas, the club in Indianapolis, I was blown away by the participation of those clubs. It was ridiculous.
Very cool. Before COVID started, the main club that Frank and I are part of, there was probably 30 to 40 people there at the meeting every month. But I don't think they've gotten back to that since going back to live meetings. They still have quite a few people join via Zoom, I think.
I haven't joined the meeting since COVID either.
I haven't. I've not been to very many, but the ones I've been to have not been as well attended as what they were before COVID. So, anyway, I need to go back and go to another one. But
ham clubs, best way to get knowledge. The number one answer if someone says, I just got my license, what should I do? Join a ham club.
Yeah.
Find an active ham club that's welcoming, which is easy to do around here, but I know it's not easy to do everywhere. So, but yeah, in Arkansas seems to have a lot of really good clubs. So that's good. Awesome, guys. Hey, I appreciate your time tonight, Carlos.
I appreciate the invite
for a while.
I appreciate the invite, man.
Absolutely.
So it's nice having another person that has more experience in this stuff than me look at my stuff and go, hey, this and that, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I've had people do that for me before, so I try to pay it forward, as it were.
Very cool.
You plan on going to Orlando?
I'm crossing my fingers, right? So I'm working on my examiner rating in skydiving. Examiner is the person that teaches the instructors.
Okay.
Right. So it's the next level up for me. I don't like to sit stagnant, and that's my next level. Sure. And that involves a lot of traveling over winter for me so that I can finish ticking off the boxes. I'm hoping to make Orlando, but that is not necessarily going to happen. So it's we shall see kind of thing. See.
Okay.
I have family that lives in Fort Lauderdale. So, I think if I can talk to the wife, maybe just, hey, let's go visit the family. And, oh, by the way, I need a day up in Orlando.
Yeah, that's right. That's the way to do it.
How about Quartz Fest?
Yeah.
Is that still too busy studying?
It's not the study, it's the time that it takes. So your typical course takes 4 days, which means I have to take 4 days off of my regular job, fly to wherever a day ahead of time, do the 4 days there, take another day off, and fly home. So it's just I'm burning up an awful lot of vacation trying to get my examiner rating taken care of.
I know that feeling. Not trying to get the examiner rating, but I'm burning a lot of vacation time for everything I do for the channel.
Yeah. So so Orlando is a maybe. I hope to make it because it's one of those things. It's a checkbox that should be in everybody, every amateur radio person's is, Dayton and Huntsville and the ones, what's the one in California?
Pacificon
and Quartz Fest and Hamcation. So like I'm trying to check the boxes. It may take me a little bit longer, but
that's all right.
We'll see.
Before 2021, I'd never been to Huntsville. And now I love that show because everyone else shows up there. We've had a great time at Huntsville this year and last year. So
the most friendliest ham fest.
Yeah.
It's a fraction the size of Dayton, right? But so is everything else.
Right. True.
And I don't know about you, but I had a great time just hanging out at the park with everybody else. And
absolutely.
Absolutely. The one jump I made there was I made two jumps, right? I mean, the one with the handgun, I made the one radio jump for me. Oh man, that pileup was a pileup like that on 2 meters. Are you kidding me?
Let's do awesome. Again. Yeah. And Huntsville has an incredibly large number of people who use 6.52 just on a daily basis.
Yeah,
like 6.52 is lit up in the Huntsville area, which it's not in a lot of. It's not around here. I wish
Indianapolis.
Is it good up there too?
It's like a repeater. The chatter never ends.
That's good. Okay, next time I get up there, I'll be sure and take something. Hopefully, something more than an HT, but we'll see. But that's good to know. So, yeah, cool. All right, thank you. Thanks, Carlos. Thanks, Frank. Appreciate you guys being on tonight. Thank you, everyone in the chat. And if you guys haven't done it yet, please do go subscribe to Carlos. I've got the link to his channel pinned at the top there from when Tio posted it earlier.
So what I want to see tomorrow, 24 hours from now, how many subscribers bumped up? Tweet it.
I started at 1,022 before we started the stream. Is 1,047 now, so at least 25.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's not a bad number. Okay.
It's a great number.
Yeah. Good. Okay. But cool. Well, like I said, I appreciate you being with us tonight, man. And let us know if we can help you with something later on in the future.
Thanks, man.
And I'll be watching the channel to see what you do next.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. All right, guys, we're gonna shut it down. Frank, do we have a link for tomorrow?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Frank's got a playlist link for Monday Night Ham Radio tomorrow. And then I've got, don't forget about the European Happy Hour on this channel on Friday at 2 p.m. So anybody who's a regular attendee of the regular Happy Hour is welcome to join us. 2 p.m. on a Friday, a lot of people are at work, so if it doesn't work out with your schedule, that's cool. But if you're around and want to pop on,
I'm in.
Yeah, on Friday.
We have a full lineup talking about Monday Night Ham Radio.
Okay, good.
Starting with you, Jason. Then we got Ham Radio Ninja. We got Kyle, and then our strong finisher guy, T.O. with Ham Nuggets.
Good.
Is there 9 minutes in there anywhere? No. Wow, it is packed.
Yeah.
That's we can squeeze. You can go before me. You can squeeze 9 minutes in before me.
I may squeeze it on Thursday. I may squeeze it tomorrow. I have a short video that I need to put out.
Cool. But actually, I think mine tomorrow is only 9 minutes, so I'm not going to take up the whole half-hour slot.
Okay.
But
cool. There you go.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right, guys. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks to Carlos and Frank, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye now. Bye. Bye. Bye.